The nails between your teeth again. You didn't decide to do it. Your hand was already up there before you noticed it had moved. You've hated this habit for years. You've called yourself disgusting over it more times than you can count. And here's the part that should stop you cold. You did it 30 seconds after promising you wouldn't. You know what it costs. You know how it looks. You can list every reason to quit without pausing for breath. And you just did it again anyway. With the whole list right there in front of you. So stop asking why you can't stop. You've asked that 1,000 nights and it's never once answered back. Ask the harder one. Why does something you genuinely hate keep winning, every time, against all of it? Hate is supposed to be enough. You're supposed to drop the thing you despise. And you don't. So it must be giving you something. Something hate can't cancel out. Something you've never actually looked at straight. That's this video. One mechanism, followed all the way down. Why the habit you hate is the one you keep. Start with something you can check right now. Watch when the urge actually shows up. It isn't when you're happy. Nobody bites their nails in the middle of laughing. It shows up in the gap. The wait. The held breath before a message sends. The silence after a hard sentence. Something goes tense, and the hand moves. Not toward pleasure. Toward the tension, to make it stop. That's the whole trick, and it's easy to miss. The habit doesn't add something good. It removes something bad. This has a name. Negative reinforcement. A behavior that turns off a bad feeling gets learned harder than one that turns on a good one. And your body agrees with that ranking completely. A bad feeling reads as an emergency. Relief reads as the fix that saved you. So the habit isn't a treat you keep sneaking. It's a solution you keep applying to a problem you have all day long. That's why it's specific. You don't do it randomly. You do it at the exact moment something needs turning off. The waiting room. The hard email open on the screen. The 3 seconds after someone goes quiet on you. Each one is a small discomfort. And each one has exactly one button you already know works. You're not weak in those moments. You're efficient. You reach for the one thing that has never once failed to work. Which raises the real question. Why this button? Out of everything, why did your hand pick this one? Not because it feels the best. Be honest. It barely feels like anything now. It won because of one thing the others could never match. It works every single time. Under 2 seconds. 0 failures. No skill required, no waiting, no chance it lets you down. Now look at the alternatives you were offered instead. A walk. A breath. Calling a friend. All better for you. All slower. All able to fail. The friend doesn't pick up. The walk needs shoes and a coat in 10 minutes you don't have. Your brain isn't choosing the best outcome. It's choosing the surest one. A small certain relief beats a large uncertain one every time. In the lab, this is the most stubborn learning there is. Behaviors that switch off something unpleasant are the hardest of all to unlearn. Far harder than any habit chasing a reward. Reward you can walk away from. Relief has its hand around your throat. So the habit you hate isn't the weakest thing in your life. It's the single most reliable thing you own. That's a strange sentence. Read it again. The thing you most want gone is the thing that has let you down the least. Everything else has an off day. Your focus, your mood, your good intentions, all of it is weather. The habit is the one thing with no weather. Same result at your best and your worst. That dependability is exactly what carved it in. You didn't build a bad habit. You built the most trustworthy tool you have, and pointed it at the wrong problem. Now the part that actually explains the hate. Because you do hate it, and it never helps. Why not? Slow the 2 seconds down. Break them into frames and watch where each feeling actually lands. Frame 1. The discomfort spikes. The wire pulls tight. Frame 2, half a second later. The hand acts. The relief lands. The wire goes slack. That's the moment the brain closes the loop. Relief arrived, behavior worked, lesson filed. Do that again. Frame 3, and only now, a full second late, the hate finally shows up. But the loop already closed. The relief got there first. Every time, the relief gets there first. So watch what your hate is actually doing. It arrives after the reinforcement, not before it. It can't stop the lesson. The lesson is filed. All the hate can do is stand there, a second late, feeling awful. And here's the cruel twist. The worse you feel afterward, the bigger the discomfort was to begin with. Which means the relief the habit just delivered was bigger too. You didn't just fail to stop it. You fed it. The disgust and the reinforcement are the same event. They fire in the same breath. the relief simply reaches the desk first. So no amount of hating it harder was ever going to work. Hating it harder just meant more relief was waiting on the other side. You weren't failing to feel bad enough. You were feeling bad at the wrong time, always a second after it no longer mattered. So step back and look at what you've actually been fighting all these years. You've been attacking the answer. And leaving the question completely untouched. Every rule you ever made said the same thing. Just don't. Just stop. Take the button away. But taking the button away doesn't touch the discomfort. It just leaves you standing in the tension with nothing that works. That's why the rules hold for about 9 days. Then a heavy day comes, the tension spikes, and it finds another button. You've watched this happen. Quit one habit cold, and within a week a new one quietly moves into the same slot. The nail biting becomes the snacking becomes the picking. Different button. Same wire. Same discomfort underneath, still unanswered. So you can't win by removing the habit. You can only win by answering its question a better way. Here's the one lever. And it isn't willpower. Willpower is just you trying to be the button's off switch, and you'll lose. Step 1. Name the discomfort. The next time your hand moves, freeze and find the feeling in the 2 seconds before it. Boredom. Dread. The itch of an unfinished thing. It's almost always smaller and more specific than you expected. You're not judging it. You're just identifying which wire pulled tight. Because that's the thing the habit was answering. Step 2. Give that exact discomfort a different off switch. One you don't hate, and one that's just as fast and just as sure. This has a name too. A competing response. In the clinic, it's how nail biting and skin picking are actually treated. Not by stopping. By replacing. So make yours win on the only axis that matters. Reliability. 10 seconds or less. Available everywhere. Never fails. Press your palms flat together and push hard for one slow breath. Grip the chair and count to 5. Set both feet and feel the floor. None of it looks like much. It doesn't have to. It only has to reach the tension faster than the old button, and it can. You're not resisting the urge. You never win that fight. You're answering the same question with a door you don't hate. Now go back to the start. The nail between your teeth. The hand that moved before you did. And look again at what was really happening in that half second, before the disgust ever arrived. There was a discomfort you feel dozens of times a day. And one answer you knew would work without fail. You weren't being weak. You were solving a real problem, faster than your judgment could get a word in. The hate was never proof of a flaw. It was just the part of you that always shows up a second late to a thing already done. So stop grading your character in that half second. Find the wire. Build a switch you don't hate. And let the better answer get there first.